planning to come back.
What's he see in daytime? It's a little Gan Eden.
I don't want to go to the army. I don't want to have these.
No, you don't have to.
I mean, I kind of do.
How old are you?
21.
L'chaim B'bracha, l'chaim to Shmuel. Sure. You want to be in the cup for a bottle?
So let's see. Oh yeah, the thing is in the way.
I can feel
It's okay.
How old are you?
I'm 16, but when I get to your age, I can feel like you just have to sign an English. I don't want to be blind. That's literally the whole
That's
deal.
the whole deal?
That's the whole deal. That's what the Torah is. They don't want to go there. They don't want to go there to sign the paper.
Amen.
Alright, Bruchim Abayim, everybody. Yeshivas Geulas Shaul. Thursday night Parshas steig. Parshas Teitzei. Tafshin Pei. We're already like 7 months into Corona. And 7 months into starting this yeshiva, the first yeshiva of Geula. But we're here for parsha. You know what I'm saying? Who knows what parsha is this week? We got some heavy hitters over in the thing. Like who knows what parsha it is, yo?
Teitzei.
Not bad. What's up, Bruchim Abayim, guys? So we said like the masks. We can keep the masks on if the person has like a mental health reason that he needs to keep them on, you know. But we're not asking to like the whole steig, you know. No.
We're already okay.
We're steig. I'm just kidding.
We're kidding.
No, I'm fine.
All right. So this week's parsha, like you guys said, with parsha is Teitzei, and it starts with the sugya of Yeshivas Geulas Shaul, right? A guy sees a girl in war, and he goes to war and he takes her. You can see maybe why there are not so many girls here in yeshiva, but we're just reading the words. We're just saying pashut over here. You know, you got to read the words. You got to say. So he goes and he takes her. She's a beautiful woman. He wanted her, and actually we had the schus to be visited today in yeshiva by a dear friend of mine, Yair Weiss, who said a more dikvort, said that he showed us that like the Yefas Toar, that's also a way that that Rachel was described, and Yosef was described, and Esther was described, and Avigail was described, and it was all the lineage of Yosef, you know. So like it's interesting that they're all called Yefas Toar, Yeshivas Geulas Shaul. So I just wanted to give
Wow.
just did a kuda.
Esther came from Shaul, also, right?
Yeah, Esther. We love Esther. We love Esther here. Okay. So I think also it was Parshas what? Parshas Rachel, the whole stiz. Parshas Vayetze, Teitzei. I'm just saying. Remember it goes on, it says, Rashi quotes this in the Medrash, that you're going to take Yeshivas Geulas, you're going to have 2 najim, echad ahuva, echad tsunua. He's like, it's Rachel and Leah. Taka explained the Zoy, right? It says Rashis only by Reuven's birth and by the Shtei Nashim. It says that like talk about the Bechor.
Yehi Rashit Ono.
Boom.
Lo Mishpat HaBechora.
Oh yes, I got me prepared. So geschmack. And then Rashi goes right there. Rashi says, this is gonna lead to a Ben Sora or Mora. You're going to have a wife that you hate. You're going to end up having a Ben Sora or Mora. A Ben Sora or Mora is very interesting. You know, we speak a lot in yeshiva about the sugya of aguna, right? And Ben Sora or Mora is one of the verses that one of the psukim that I shtel to in my song about in aguna side. Say, Ben so rare because I'm more dick with dope flow. Hence don't care because you won't show Maya both coals. Never gonna happen, wife having her boy voice. Lo hayav lo yeh, just as Chazal were boy ois. So what's pashut? Right? Never gonna happen, wife having her boy voice. Right? A wife and a husband never gonna have the exact same voice. It's a physiological impossibility, doch. Right? But still we say, we darshan eno shemeh b'kolenu. Until they have kolei and shavos, gemara in Sanhedrin of ayin aleph, amid aleph.
Kolei and Shabbos.
Achu kolei and shavos. And we say, oh, so we're really learning this like literal ad absurdum, right? We're like, oh, kolayim shavos, they have to have like, we have to have the kolayim shavos, their voices have to be exactly the same, right? We say that they have to like, oh, so we're saying, oh, okay, so literal ad absurdum, that's how we darshan.
So
Literal.
there's never been Sarah Mar.
So, right, just as Chazal were boys, there's an opinion that never exists. Lo yav v'lo yeh.
There's another opinion that did exist.
There's another opinion that did exist. True.
So then it couldn't have been Kolayim Shavos.
What?
Then it couldn't have been the same voice.
If you're going to learn that there is kolayim shavos,
It will never be.
no, sorry, if you learn that it happened, so then you could have a situation where you have kolayim shavos. If you're going to learn that it never happened, so then it's not going to be, then you could say, yeah, kolayim shavos is not a physical possibility, right? Oh, but still we're darshaning it like that. But by aguna, by ayin tachas ayin as Hammurabi code go, rabbis darshan lo kipshuto allegory mamon, right? Over there they said not kipshuto, it says ayin, and we say mamon. What's pshat, Rabbosai? What's pshat? We say ayin. We say we go, but literal out of absurdum. What happened to allegory? What happened to honesty of intellect or crowning glory? Or just maybe there'd be more madrigas to this Mar story. I'm about to slug these clowns up. Achiyama ratza ani.
Achiyama ratza ani.
So what's going on? We're learning it. Look, are we learning it literal or learning? And the answer is we don't want to take a guy's eye out. So we darshan the bazuk in a way that stems with ethics, stems with the morals of time. They're not going to go ripping people's eyes out. So we say, there, it's allegorical mamon, right? Allegory mamon. But then by Ben Sorah or Mora, right? They say, Einish Mebe Kulenu until they have the exact same voice. They give all of these right, all these things to make it that a Ben Sorah or Mora is not possible because we don't want to go around killing kids. Right? And that's a good lesson that we shouldn't kill kill kids. You know? Say, what'd you learn tonight in Yeshiva? I'm not to kill kids. That's great. You guys are sitting on a very special bench. Someone who maybe is not so makbid. Show the bench later. Okay. Moving on, Rabbosai. The next halacha, because when we learn.
How's it going, Erev Tov?
Erev Tov, bro.
Yeah, if you sit here, I'll do everyone. Stand back here for that.
The next halacha we learn is lo salin nevelasai, right? It says you're not supposed to after you kill someone in Beis Din or whatever, you're not supposed to let his body hang overnight. Lo salin. So you're not supposed to let his body hang. Why? Ki klalas Elohim taloi. And it says it's the klal of Elohim and Rashi says ki Adam is b'dmut Adam is chelek Eloha. Adam, right? This is the word of chelek Eloha. That we are a part of God. Rashi says it's like klal Elohim is like the Melech's son is hanging. And it's like it doesn't reflect good on God if humanity sins. Okay, we hang him because that's what the Torah says to do. Okay, whatever. But don't leave him overnight. We're not the point is made or whatever. And we can talk about what exactly is the inyan. But
Rashi talks about it.
Rashi talks about it. I know. And we can talk about the inyan of Chelek Eloha. That we're all Chelek Eloha. We were talking about that a little bit in the pre-shiur. So it's pre-shiur all day until shiur. And we're talking about Spinozan pantheism and Chelek Eloha, but maybe we'll come back to that. The next thing. So this is the next thing. Basically, that's the Torah that we talk about in the parsha. Is we get a double v'hisalamta. Anyone know what I'm referring to? What? Right. Well, the first one is that's the second one. It's no flim baderech this time. The second one, but the first time it says if you find something, we got wings, we got chicken wings.
Beautiful.
Thanks, bro. Glad you made it.
More attention.
Yeah, we got Tej. We got Torah.
Torah.
No, we got wings.
There's Torah wigs and wigs.
Parshas Kisisa.
Alright, so the first Viz Alamda was talking about Shabbos Aveda. The second Viz Alamda was talking about Chor Achira, right? Hashem Teshiva, Menachem Takim, Viz Alamda. They talk a little bit about Simlas Isha, about a guy who wears women's clothing, or women wearing men's clothing. They don't look so favorably on that. Now, there's two ways to approach that. Now, you can, like the ultra Haredi way, the way that we know, is like, oh, they got you super, right? You know, he knows exactly what I'm talking about. Mishmar, right? Represent. We got some Heliga Bakram in the hizzy. So, but like, the Torah Tamima, Baruch Halevi Epstein.
She's Mishmar, born and raised.
Bro.
Not born and raised, but raised.
But raised. That's a Madrega, bro. It's a Madrega. I'm humbled in your presence, bro. Someone who was raised in Meir Sharim, very geschmack. Very geschmack. L'chaim, yes. Have a drink to Meir Sharim.
From 7th grade on.
Wow.
Ravini calls this Meir Sharim also.
Yeah, good for it. Too good. I hear. So.
Try some plates if you want to pop a wing up your question.
So, the Torah Tamima says a more the Gavort. He says a kol kamina gamakom. It's like, yeah, the Gemara says you shouldn't go around and rip out Cyrus Levanais, and it's not Sir Bishom Begit Klei Yisha. Torah Tamima says, listen, everything's kamina gamakom. Wearing flashy clothing. The Gemara says about that, like that's the women's thing. Like, yo, a kol kamina gamakom. Yes.
Did you just say if like a guy's got gray beard hairs, he shouldn't go ripping them out?
I'm saying that if he wants to be machmir like the pashut of the Gemara, he probably should have stayed. But the Torah Tanima says that kol kamina gamakum, and if we're living in a society that really like things, and it's mental health reasons, then of course wear women's clothes if you need. Of course, it's pashut. Pa. So then we have Shiluach HaKan, which is nice. Because it's actually what's beautiful about Shiluach HaKan, which we see next, is that it says Leman Yitav, right? Leman Yitav, steht in Pasuk. And Rashi says, could read it inside, you get some guys like, fine, I'll read it inside, it's very Geshmak Pasuk. You don't have to twist my arm. Shalach de shalach es ha'em. By the way, interesting that we keep on saying do it again, do it and do it again. Last week we had tzedek tirdof. This week we have hashev tashivim, hakem takimim, and now we have shalach de shalach. Just saying, shalach de shalach es ha'em. The asbanim tigach lecha, take the children, take the Ephraim, at the eggs. Leman yidav lach. That should be good for you. Verach the yamim. The manigach loch zog the Gemara in Chulin and Daf Kuf Mem Beis Amar Aleph. Says the Gemara. We have here Kal v'chomer from the Eivishter, straight from the Eivishter to our base measures. Kal v'chomer zog Rashi. Gotta read the Dibur Maska, of course. Leman yitav loch. Mitzvah kala she'ein bach yisaron kis amra daira leman yidalach verach yamim, and right, that would be good for you, and you extended your days, and you lived a long life. If it says that about a mitzvah kala, that there's no chisaron kis, adarabah, the guy comes out of this mitzvah, extra eggs, you know. Kal v'chaymer lematan scharim shemitzvahs chamuros. Kavach Omer, like this matan schar on mitzvahs chamuros, right? That like a mitzvah, like something that's difficult, that's hard for a person, you know.
Saying we get more reward down here, meaning like kavach Omer, just like by chasing the birds, getting the eggs also. So there is chamuros that meaning just like for them we get like more physical reward down here.
Yo, bro, I hear ya. It's a good kasha. You're saying, wait a second, but what about Elohim? Elohim was right, right? the Menachem is Olam Haba. And they give us a finite list. And you're saying, wait a second, according to the HaCohen and Rashi over here,
That's not right there.
it's a good kasha.
That's not right
It's a good kasha. So, kasha on Rashi. On the Gemara in Chulin, we're straight up Amoraim over here, dining on this Gemara. Now there's a reason. I knew there was a reason that I brought a shas.
Never know when you need a shot.
You never know when you need a shas. But I knew I needed a shas tonight.
You always need.
I knew I needed a shas tonight. So it's a Gemara in Chulin of Guf Mem Beis Amud Aleph. The last page of Maseches Chulin. If you thought, yo, I know I'll learn a little bit, I'll be able to learn a little bit of Gemara, but I'll never get to the last page of Chulin, you know? That's like the last thing anyone's... Leman Yitav Lach. Right? So, Tanya, the Rabbi Yaakov over, Ein Lachakol Mitzvah Shebetorah Shematan Scharan B'Tseida. She'ein T'chiyaz Amazing Tuluyim Ba. Says Rabbi Yaakov, you have no mitzvah in the Torah. That Matan Schar is told about it. They thought it's T'chiyaz Amazing, that's Tuluyim Ba. Says, B'kivra ba'em k'sev l'man yirchun yamecha l'man yitav lach b'shiluach hakein. K'sev l'man yitav lach barach l'yamim arei amar lo aviv ala lebira havali gozlos. Wow, that story, yo, you guys know that story. Like that's why, right? He says, "Oh, get me some gozlos." But Allah, so he's going to do. This guy's going to do. He's going to do kibbut ava'im and shiluach hakeim. He's like, go, right? Shalach as a aim, v'lagach as a barim, v'chazarazo nafal v'meis. He fell off and he fell off the thing he did. It says, "L'man yetavlach." Yo, we don't just have a kasha on the Gemara and Chulin over here and the Kal V'chomer and Rashi. We have a kasha on the Etzim Psukim. Wait a second, how did this guy die?
It's a question on Hashem.
It's a question on Hashem.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's going on? Heichan Arichos Yomov Shel Zeh. Where is his Arichan Yomov? Heichan Tovazon. Where is his good Shel Zeh? Elo L'man Yerichon Yamecha Bi Olam Shekulo Aruch L'man Yitavlach Bi Olam Shekulo Tov. And for the Gemara, that this thing is not kasha from the Karen Kemet Olam Hazeh. This is both talking about L'Olam Shekulo Aruch, L'Olam Shekulo Tov, L'Asid Lava, right? And we're learning Aruch Shulchan Asid in Yeshiva. We're learning Rosh Shmita. We are in the Yemos HaMashiach, and so we should see a lot of schar, a lot of super chill. That's what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? All right. So that is what we learned from Shiluach HaKein. That is the answer to your Mordik Kasha, Mordik Teretz.
Next world.
Next world. Next world. Yeah, it's kind of the next world, but yo, we're headed towards that. You know, and another thing that was interesting that I think that you guys will like is that when the Gemara says kalos v'chamuros, mitzvos kalos, mitzvos chamuros, that brings me back to the sugya of geras, of the sugya of right. We tell them mitzvos kalos, mitzvos chamuros. We tell the convert a few kalos, a few chamuros. No one knows what this means. But right here we have a Rashi. Oh, mitzvos kalos, mitzvos chamuros. It's about chisaron kiss. You know, it's about chisaron kiss. Mitzvos kalos, chaimbo chisaron kiss. And you see like how people were like how much schar you get from doing shiluach hakeim, which ain't chisaron kiss. Adarab ata marviach beitzim, right? You see, with ain't chisaron kiss, like mitzvahs kalos, mitzvahs chamuros. You tell the girl, like, listen, there's gonna be some mitzvahs kalos like shiluach hakeim, and you're gonna gain some eggs. But most of these mitzvahs is you're gonna have to buy a lulav, and you're gonna have to buy this, and you're gonna buy tzitzit, and you're gonna buy a lot of stuff. And that's what we tell the girl. And if he says, I want it anyways. Mazel tov, hakol tov.
I'm gonna be a chassid soon.
Mazel tov. Amen. Everyone who wants to be a
We're all gonna be.
Yeah. All right. No, everything's good. Everything's good. All right. So that Rabosai is. I wanted to make it diuk for what is mitzvahs kalas, mitzvahs chamuros by a ger. Is chisaron kes and classic Jew. You want to become Jewish? You become Jewish. You're gonna start loving money. That's what we got. Right. Okay. The kol avedas achicha and kuda kol avedas achicha. But I put it in the wrong place in the sheet, and now we're past that point. So. Hit me up afterwards if you want to hear like the after game show. We're going to talk about a vort on kol avedas achicha vis-a-vis mummer. Zot the guitar weiter. Micah. Now you guys know what Micah is, right?
Nope.
That's what you don't even know. You're not even Yeshivish enough. Not yet. Micah. You'll get there. You'll get there. Especially learning in American shiur, in American English shiur, bro. Micah, ma'akeh. That's how really Yeshivish people say ma'akeh.
I've never heard the word.
Bro, in Rav Ilsen, I'm telling you, we were donning on Micahs. It was crazy.
What the
Yeah.
Oh.
Ma'akeh. Right, you have to do it last year, right? Al tasim damim b'veisecha steht in Pasuk. Don't put damim in your house. It says ki yipo hanofel. The Gemara in Shabbos and Lamed Beis says, this dude, roi zel libo misheishes and mebrachis, which has humongous ramifications and hashlachot to the question of determinism. This guy was going to fall from 60 mebrachis. Where's the free will? What's going on? Oh, we can talk about determinism for a long time. I know. I see you guys salivating. But I just putting it out there, you know. We got some mitzvahs to see. So many mitzvahs in Parshas Teitzei. Kalayim! 3 iterations. We have Lo Tizra, Lo Tichrosh, then Lo Tilbo Shatnez, right? 3 iterations of Shatnez. Don't plant them, Kalayim. 3 iterations of Kalayim, right? Lo Tichrosh, don't have a shor and a seh working together. And then you have Shatnez, which don't wear it. And so the Gemara says, and the next thing, right? Is Gedilin Taselecha Al Dalakavos. We learn about tzitzis. Why are we learning about tzitzis here? Abosai?
Because the tzitzis is the doicha shadness.
Tzitzis is shatnez.
Tzitzis is shadness still okay.
Say better. You guys are both very close, but say better. That's
You have to do
better.
shyness.
Say better. Okay. You guys are all right, but you're not right enough. Because the answer I'm looking for is that we see from here. Whoa! That's what we learn. That's the Tzushtel. It's Gemara in Yevamos and Daf Dalet. The Torah goes on talk about Motzi Shemra, right? And in Motzi Shemra, we know the case is that a guy says, "Yo, I didn't find the sulim to your daughter." Like, okay, and then we test him. We're like, "Yo, does he have? Is there blood on the sheets?" It's like a whole crazy thing. If he's lying, if the guy's lying, who knows what happens? No makola. What happens if the guy is lying?
Gotta marry her or pay the dad or something?
Who knows what happens? In Motzei Shemra, he was lying.
He has to marry her. He
He needs to pay.
He needs to pay, right? Meir shekel, right? Meir shekel is how much it costs. And what if he wasn't lying and she was right?
She gets
Stoned. I'm just saying. I don't know.
What kind of stone we talking
What's
about?
going on? Yeah.
They throw her off.
I'm just saying. Unfortunately, the stone where she gets smashed to death, not the stone where she gets smashed to death. Next we go to Isha Geulas Shaul. Okay. Nara Meraza. Very interesting. Nara Meraza. I'll just make a stickle Nikuda Nara Meraza. That Kikasher Yakum Mishareu Kena Tavar Hazeh. that how do we know that you can kill a Na'ara Maraza? Because we said in the Torah, just like when a man comes to kill another guy, you can save the guy who's trying to kill with the life of the guy who's trying to kill him. So too, if someone's coming to rape a girl, right? Na'ara Maraza. And we're like, oh, okay, fine. So we learn it from Hekesh to Ritzicha and Kasher Yakum Yishareu. But how do we know Kasher Yakum Yishareu? How do we know that? How do we know that you're allowed to kill, that you're allowed to do that? You're allowed to save his life for his life. How do you know that you can do anything for Pikuach Nefesh? How do we know? How do we know that you can save his life with his life? It's this huge thing. We're killing people. We're basking Misa, right? Anyone can do it. You see someone running after a girl to rape her, you kill that motherfucker. Oh, yeah. Right? Anyone, and how do we know that? We learned it from a Gezerah Shava. We learned it from a Gezerah Shava, from a Hekesh, from Kasher Yakum Yisrael Kenet Varazed, he's going to go and kill. We learned it from Ritzicha. How do we know that? Zok the Gemara in Sanhedrin. It's a Svarahu. My Chazis. The Damadidach, Samuk Tfei, the Damadu Gavra. Right? So wait a second, we're learning all of this from a Svara? Yeah. So next halacha is Lo Yiganek Knaf Aviv. And then we learned some Petsua Daka, Kurushifra, Lo Yavo B'Kal Hashem. But Torah's like, I'm not done with Lo Yavo B'Kal Hashem. Because you also have
Amoini Moyabi.
Mamzer, Amoni Mavi. Nice. This guy really prepared. Dude, such a geshmak. Shkoyach for coming. Now Ammon and Moab, right? We know all about them. We know that that was like the whole sugya of like, could David HaMelech come in, son of Rus, right? Rus from Balak.
No.
Yeah, she's Moab. She's from Balak. Rus from Balak. What? Why was Balak Zocha that Rus should come from him?
Balak.
Shechted the Korbanos.
Shechted 24 Korbanos. 2 of Avodah.
Literally.
And he got this chuz of Rus, the great-grandmother, the lineage of David. Right? What's going on? So the Gemara, we have a raya. Mitoch shelo lishma bal lishma. This is the Nakuda from Balak.
Whoa.
What?
Whoa. Did he say that the Korbanos, then he did the Korbanos Hashem?
But when was he ever Lishma?
Oh, great kasha! When was Balak Lishma? Good kasha. Let's see if it gets answered. I don't know. We're staggered.
No, down the Doidus.
What?
It turned from Balak, which was Shaloi Lishma, down the Doidus, it turned to Lishma.
That's a vor.
That's
a vor, yo. That's a good vor.
No, just like that. This is the biggest kunz of that is Timnah, who was Timnah was the
Something of Esau.
the
Pelegus of Eliphaz.
Pelegus of Eliphaz.
Yo, we got
because
some staggers here.
Timnah, she left her royal lifestyle and she left all the riches just to be a Pelegish, which is not even like a full-fledged wife, to a grandchild of Abraham who was the least righteous. She wanted to be with a Zerah of Abraham so badly. Wow. So how did Hashem pay her back? That it says in Bnei Brak, it was her great-grandchildren that were the great-grandchildren of Timnah that were learning in Bnei Brak.
Wow.
Where do you see that?
It's actually from Rav Moshe Wolfson. But I used to go to these Shaloshidas, but from Rav Moshe Wolfson.
What's it in
Or Rav Moshe Wolfson? I forgot what he wrote, but he's the Mishgiach over that. Or he just lost his Rebbe today, so it's a Shanda.
Oh, it's a Shanda. The Shama should have an Aliyah. She made the Yosher for the Geula, which is ongoing.
Right there.
We're doing it. We're doing it. We're just going to go back to the Nevuah, the Mayat Zeshek. You know, what else are you doing up there? Next, Rabosai, right, says that, right, and also, by the way, just by Bilam, we're sitting on those Helig seats, we'll show them later, right now, we took some pictures, we'll show them up. Right now, while I'm saying this, there'll be videos of the thing, like, showing up. It says, Bilam Gates, the Dialim Avim B'Mila over here.
Oh, Shaga Golan,
That's cute.
said villain.
Bill Gates, man. It's like Bill Gates, man.
But Gates is like the Shari Shemaim. It's like opening the Shari, storming the Shari Shemaim.
What Masechta is this? It's when you're talking about that stuff, and we're gonna put right. What Masechta is it? It's Bava Shibud Malchias, the gates of government depression. And we'll go into the sugya. We talked about it a little bit before Shir, but we're stagged. Duh. Gemara answers. Wait a second. We're in Yerushalmi and Yevamos. Also, Bavi and Yevamos 9 and Gimel. Amud Aleph was Yerushalmi and Yevamos and Parshas Gimel. Gemara asks basically like, wait a second, like you're telling me that like David could come in because it's like it says Mitzri, it says Amori, Edo, or it says Ammoni and Moavi, and not Ammonit and Moavit, and so he can come in because it's only the girls. Well, what about Mitzrayim? It says Mitzri, not Mitzrit. What about Edom? It says Edom and not Edomit.
They still can come in?
And they still know, yeah, if the women have the same dinner as the men, by those.
Right.
And the question is why? So the Gemara explains that it says that like they did these yachts and they didn't come to like get you with bread and water. They didn't come to the krascha. Whose derech was it? It was the derech of the men to do it, and so it's only the men. Then you think, well, what when the Torah talks about Edomi and Mitzri and like what they did, that like the reason for them is that you have to be like positive, be like, yo, since we were Gerim in their land, they opened it up for us a little bit. There's things to think about that whole sugya. There's like a lot to talk about over there. But I wanted to bring a Gemara in Sanhedrin of Kuv Gimel Amud Beis. It says that Gadol, how great is like to give a friend some food, give him some chicken wings, give him some things, because the lack of the Ammonim coming to greet the Jews, like, or the Israelites rather, got him like that's what caused like it says Mirachekes et Krovim, and I'm like, yo, I can't be reading this. Mirachekes et Krovim, and it says yeah, because like they were Bnei Lot. They're our family also.
They're like our cousins.
Yeah, cousins. So is Ishmael. Ishmael's our uncle. We're practically cousins. When haters arise, we just shrug and go, fuck them. Next, we learn about Lo Titayev, Lo Sisayev, Edomi v'Mitzri, right? Edomi ki achicha, and Mitzri ki gerev be'artzo. This is more in Brachos, and Daf Samech Gimel, Amud Beis. This is more in Brachos, and Daf Samech Gimel, Amud Beis. Samech Gimel, Amud Beis, the very end of Brachos. We saw the end of Chulin and the end of Brachos. Listen, I just say it, it's interesting. Alright?
The end is like the Geula.
Oh, good word! I didn't want to say it. I wanted to go from you guys. I love you guys.
Oh, I missed it.
I did watch the
It's the
video.
end, like the end of the Masechet is like the end of time, it's like the Geula.
It's a nice two. Two being short, of course, for... Nice, yo! Represent. Alright, so Gemara says, Pasach Rabbi Yossi, Ifa Ruveni. 5 minutes, bring out Ruveni, if we can. Okay, so it says, Pasach Rabbi Yossi B'kavod Achsania. Rabbi Yossi opened with kavod and honor and respect to the place that he was staying, to the Achsania. And the Darash, and it says, Lo tita'e ve'edomi. It says, don't hate an Edomite, right? Why? Ki achicho, because it's your brother. Lo tita'e v'mitzri ki ger ha'ita be'artzo. Because you were a ger in his land. Zakt Rabbi Yossi b'kavod Achsania. Said the hello Devarim Kavachomer. This is a Kavachomer bear. Oh, yeah, this guy's definitely from there, Sharif. Oh, I love that. Shelo karvu es Yisrael elo l'tzarich atzman. What? The Mitzrayim, the Egyptians, were only brought the Jews to them l'tzarich atzman for their need. Shenemar v'im yadata yesh bam anjei chayo v'samtem sari mikne al kol asher li. The Mitzrayim were bugging. They were scared. Yo, these Jews are gonna take us over. Let's manipulate them, right? So he says, and that was the Mitzrayim, and that's what they want. And still, we have to be, we have to be makir tov because we were a ger in their nation. It says kach thusly, kol kach hamareach tamid chacham b'toch beiso. Someone who has tamid chacham living in his house, his property. Uma'achilo and feeds him, umashkeu and drinks him. Umahaneu minachazav and gives him stuff. No, sorry. That's a bad taich. Bad taich! Umahaneu minachazav and allows him to enjoy and get hanodach from your nechasim. Al achaz kama v'kama. How much more so? Yeah, very, very more dick.
Much more so on who?
How much more so is it a geschmack schar for the guy who has Talmid Chacham living and it was like people who are helping Talmid Chacham live? Very interesting. A lot of work is done for like the upkeep of Talmid Chacham. Crazy like Talmid Chacham, like maybe they were like such like organized people in the day to day. I don't know.
The guy's in the book all day, man. You gotta give him a break. You know what I'm saying? You got no much time to work.
Mikra Laila. The next thing we learn about is Mikra Laila. And the next thing we learn about is Mikvah. And the next thing we learn about is going to the bathroom. Yated, right? The Kisi says, Seisecha, right? Lo Yerebecha Ervas Davar. The next thing we learn about is Lo Tazgir Eved, which is really geschmack. If a slave escapes, you don't return him. You help the shtag as best as you can. You help freedom. You fight for freedom. It's here in the Torah. You know?
Django Unchained.
Abraham Lincoln right there.
You know?
He read this first.
Rabosai, I'm just reading the words.
That's like a person who's a slave to his Yitzhar and he escaped.
Oh, this guy coming in with the Chassidish for it. Right on time.
But the Archaim said something for that.
Dude, I was going to say this. Come with the Archaim board. I was going to say, but I didn't want to diss the Archaim too hard. I was going to say.
No,
This is not a diss.
Oh, here. What paragraph? What passage? I'll check it out for myself.
You can check the Archaim. But yeah, I agree that the Archaim say something. It sounds like a key Teitzei l'milchama, Menachem as a Yetzer, or a Chaim board. That's what you guys are thinking. I know I'm 10 iterations ahead of these Chaim because genetics were paying you generic and lame. Yo, go. Show him. אתה מלך!
זה בשבילך!
תודה ראובני, תודה. וואו, שמחת אותנו, אחי.
למה?
ראובני, דרש רבי יוסי בכבוד אכסניה. זה שיש לנו תורה פה זה כבוד אכסניה, אני רציתי להודות לך. זה שאתה נותן לנו מקום ללמוד תורה.
אין לכם שבשנה הבאה כולכם תהיו מחותנים.
אמן.
רק נעשה פה את החתונה.
אמן.
יופי. נעשה כאן לא רק גברים, גם בחורות יבואו.
Yo, it's a good diss, Ruben. It's a good diss. It's a good diss. It's a good diss. You gotta give it a So after we learn about that, you don't return the servant who runs away. We learn about a kadesh and a kadesha, a pit, a gigolo and a hoe, whatever, like a male-female prostitute. Kadesha, right? Okay. We can talk a long time about kadeshas. But we're going weiter. We're going weiter to. We're going weiter to Zonos. Esnan Zayin Mechir Kalev. Can't bring him in his basement. Can't bring him on. There you go. I can't bring him. And then we learn about Neshech. Very interesting. Neshech and Kisidor Neder. Neshech and Kisidor Neder. Things that we could talk about. The Darman with Rav Asher. I wanted to get a little bit into the psukim right now, right? There's an interesting pasuk. It says, right? It says, Kerem Reyecha, when you're walking in Kerem Reyecha, right? V'yachalta anavim kenafshecha savecha, right? You ate like anavim. You can eat as many, but al kelecha lo titein. Don't give to the kalim.
Kelyecha is like the animals.
Kelyecha is the animals?
Yeah.
Wait a second, let's look up.
You don't give to the animals, but you can eat the grapes yourself.
Kelyecha is the animals, bro? What a
No, I
chiddush.
think like your dishes or talim.
No, Be'al Kelyecha.
No, he could be saying a vort. It could be meaning both.
No.
It could be meaning both. We're
Dishes
saying
don't take
shot
things.
over here, and he's saying
You
drush.
don't give things to
No,
dishes.
not dishes, but like.
No, but like, no,
come
don't put
over
it in your,
basket
like,
and,
don't put it in your pocket. Like, don't put it in
Is that
your,
what it means? I thought it was an animals. Anyway,
you know, it's don't put it in your zachin.
we have to look it up. I don't know. That's trying to remember. We could like quickly look it up. We could, like,
Wait a second.
You can like Google Be'al Kelyecha lo titein. It's what?
No, we don't Google. Yo, we got a chumash over here.
But not English.
We don't need English. We don't need someone else teaching the psukim. We have the psukim, bro.
Let's see who comes up with it faster. You or Google? Okay.
Got it.
Oh.
Kisavu b'kamas reyecha. Right. Kisavu b'kamas reyecha is the second one. The katavta melilos biadecha v'chermesh losarif. Don't use your chermash. Don't use the sickle. Right. The one before is Kisavu b'kerem reyecha v'yachalta anavim kenavshecha savecha ve'el kelyecha. Yo, right off the bat it says kelyecha. Right off the bat we got to make ourselves a little humble. This guy was brought up in Meir Sharim. Right off the bat we got to say no.
Yeah.
At least we got to see what Zach did Rashi, right? At least. Ve'el kelyecha lo titein mikan shelo dibra dora el v'shasa b'tzir. Where's our Yisrael? Our Yisrael, what's shasa b'tzir? B'tzira?
B'tzira. Oh yeah, then that's harvesting grapes.
Ooh yeah.
Boom.
Right? Shasa b'tzir. B'zman she'ata noten lekelav v'shabal abayis aval im bala ador v'likashkesh eino ochel. So yeah, it seems to be talking about his kalim.
Okay.
Seems to be, but wait, we're still going to say like it seems to be. Right? El kelyecha. Yeah,
one second. Be'al Kelyecha lo titein.
It doesn't seem to be anything about kelyecha being animals, but I respect the vort.
Okay, sure.
I respect the vort.
Maybe it's like the animal soul. Don't give it to the animal soul. Like, give it to the.
That one a little less than the first one.
First was good.
The first was very geschmack. And then it talks about the kelim that, you know, like, but we're supposed to have a society that's supposed to be awesome. You know, like if you go to your friend, you're looking at his field, okay, you can take a grape or two. Don't put it in your pocket.
Don't put it in the shopping cart.
Don't put it in the shopping cart, but you can take a grape or two, right? Alright. So that was V'chalta anavim v'chelecha lo yitein v'katavta melilas biadecha v'chermesh lo sanif. Right? Okay, then we go on. And we learn about Gittin, v'kasav la sefer krisos. And then we learn about v'samachas ishto, right? And I want to say Gezer Shava, simcha, maybe v'samachas ishto. We learn v'samachas ishto, that's referring to like to relations. And when Shlomo said, right, we're like, yo, Shlomo Melech is crushing it. And that's the Gezer Shava. And the Svara is that he had 1,000 wives. So we know that Shlomo Melech was crushing it. ask me after share what it is. We have the next. We have a very big sugya for our times. Gonev nefesh, right? And the Gemara says, okay, Gonev. What's the pasuk? Right, talking about Gonev nefesh. Kidnapping, yeah. What was the pasuk? You got any Tanakh nikim here? Oh, let me hear it. Let me hear it. What is it? Oh, Gonev nefesh umcharo, exactly. Right, he steals it, and so the right? Right, if he uses him, right? What's the word? What? V'hitamerbo. And we saw hitamer also at the beginning of the parsha, right? We saw lihitamer, like don't lihitamer, the Eish Ifatar. Yeah, good point. Lihitamer ba. Same parsha. Right? And so we learned the Gemara in Sanhedrin. The Gemara in Sanhedrin on Pehei Amud Beis says that it's also coming to include, right? It says ish, right? Gonev ish, right? And like we're like, yo, Gonev ish over here. Here you can come up. Hey Dara, welcome. You can come up and definitely invited. You could sit. We have places. Ki yimatzei ish gonev nefesh. Why does it say ki yimatzei, Rabbi Harry?
Because it stumbled upon you.
Ki yimatzei ish, when you find someone stealing kids, because obviously they're going to be very secretive about it, and they're going to control the media, and they're going to know what's going on. Ki yimatzei, when you find it, when you find Jeffrey Epstein, when you find Bill Gates, when you find Bill Clinton, when you find these people. Right? Ghislaine Maxwell. But wait, Ghislaine Maxwell is not. Why? Because State Pasuk, Ki yimatzei ish gonev nefesh. Maybe, Harry, maybe it's only Jeffrey Epstein that we hold accountable, but Ghislaine Maxwell, it says Ki gonev ish. Ki yimatzei ish, when you find out about a dude. Maybe Ghislaine Maxwell is putter.
Ish could be plural.
Maybe Ghislaine Maxwell is putter. What do you guys say?
Right?
All right.
What?
It's okay. Maybe Ghislaine Maxwell,
Ish in Hebrew.
the woman, the compadre of Jeffrey Epstein, who kidnapped and controlled and traded many young women for very rich people to do very inappropriate things with. But maybe the girl that was working with is Ghislaine Maxwell. Maybe she's putter because it says Ki yimatzei ish gonev. Zok the Gemara in Sanhedrin Daf Pehei Amud Beis Ein li ela isha ganav isha shegonva minayin Talmud leimar the gonev ish. So it says the gonev ish. So there's a drasha there. The gonev ish.
What's the drasha?
The.
Viz and coming good. It's
I
coming
don't know. I
good.
don't know what the drasha is. I don't see what the drasha is. But let's see. The Ein li ela. The Gemara is still going on. What's it could be ve. It could be gonev. Let's see. Right. Ve'en li ela ish sheganav bein ish ve'bein isha ve'isha shegan va'ish isha shegan va'isha minayin. How do we know all of those things? How do we know all of those zachin? Talmud lomar v'mei zaganavahu mikol makom. Okay, fine. Ghislaine Maxwell also very krum. Right. I'm not going to be like Trump and say I wish her well, but I wish her well that she doesn't get suicided, yeah? Exactly. Zacharias, Miriam. Okay. And then a very geschmack thing, you give someone tzedakah, don't go into his house to get the ivut, b'chutz ta'amayid, right? Lo tishchav, you shouldn't keep his thing because it's chayim. The Gemara goes on, it talks about the Gemara, right? So Yeshivish. The Torah, the parsha, goes on, it talks about V'yomo titein scharo, you give the guy the money on the day. It says, Lo yumsu avos al banim, ubanim lo yumsu al avos, ish becheto yumsu, right? So if this is seed by someone who happens to be the kid of Jeffrey Epstein, like, yo, bro, it's okay. Like you're just like a victim, just like all those girls. Like you weren't asked to be his son. Don't worry about it, you know. Like lo yumsu. says Lo Tachbol, V'Zacharta, V'Shikcha. Also, we learn about Shikcha, which is Mitzvah Tulis Ba'aretz, V'Zacharta, right? The 40 Malkas, we learn about 40 Malkas, Lo Tichsom, don't be Machsom, the shore when it's going. We have Evan Shlema.
Don't wear masks.
Oh!
I'm sorry.
No, I agree.
That's the truth.
But that's the truth. That's definitely the truth. But it's okay. How old are you guys?
21.
Alright, so how old are you guys?
21.
Oh yeah, okay, but you guys are the same age. You guys have no excuse why you guys are right now. And then we have the Evan Shlema. Someone once said to the Gra, "Where is your name in the Torah?" And he said, "Evan Shlema." Right? Eliyahu ben Shlomo. And since we're getting funny with the words over here, I think we could talk a little bit about Amalek, Gematria. Sorry, not just Gematria. Amalek, Osios, Kamala. Just saying Osios over here. I'm just saying Osios. I'm just saying Osios. Right?
Vice President, retard.
Yeah.
Sorry for all the liberals. But yeah. Vice President. Pretty much retard.
There's a lot to talk about her. All I'm saying is Osios. All I'm saying is Osios. I'm not getting into it. I'm just putting out the Osios. Mishta the Talmidim could be Mishta Shea on those levels of Karpuros to Torah. But right now we're gonna learn some meat and potatoes. You know what I'm saying? But you guys can think about that. Think what it means. Osios. I'm just saying Osios. But we say Zachor. And the Gemara says, Zachor, Parshas Zachor, you have to remember it. The Gemara says, well, maybe that we could just remember it in our mind, right? Maybe it's not that you have to remember it, right? And you just remember it in your head. How do you know Zachor? Right? The Gemara Megillah and Daf Yud Ches Amud Aleph. How do you know Zachor? It's just right. It says Zachor. How do you have to read? How do you have to speak? Maybe Yachol Melev. Zachor Yachol Melev. Kishu Omer, like it says Lo Tishka. Right? Let's read the Zachor as a Shera Salacha Amalek. This is how the parsha ends. We learned about Ammon. We learned about Moab. We learned about Mitzrim. We learned about Edomim. Now we got a fifth guy. Don't forget what they did. You know, Zachor. Asher Salacha Amalek B'deret B'Seischem Mitzrayim Asher Karecha Bader V'Zanev B'Cha K'Han Nechesh Aleim Acharecha V'Ata Ayev V'Yagea V'Lo Yarei Elohim V'Ya V'Niach Adonai Elohecha L'cha Miko Oyevecha Misaviv Ba'aretz Asher Nelecha Nosein L'cha Nachala L'Rishta Timcha as Zecher Amalek Timcha as Zecher Amalek Midachas HaShamayim L'Shamayim Lo Tishkach Timcha Zecher Amalek. Now let me take control of this camera to show. Stand up for a second. Timcha Zecher Amalek. Look at what they're sitting on. Maybe someone that's not like me. Just show the camera. Oh, you got that thing. Show the seat if you can. And if you can, so we'll put up a video.
What does it say?
It says Bilam Gates.
Where?
Right on the seat. And we sit on it. Timcha Zecher Amalek. Rabosai, we should be Zocha to go weiter in Elul's man. Hamelech Basadeh. It's a din of Vayetzu. Vayetzu Hashayvtim Vazikenim. To go see what's going on over here. It's not, we're sitting in Yakdut or Viyadir, Bad, right? Chervi Lebadim, Chervi Lebadem, Chervi Lesoneim Shatamidei Chachamim. Right? The Yoshvim Bad Bad Ve'oskim B'Torah. Right? And they're just sitting there and they're not going out, they're not figuring it out. And they can't say Einenu Lo Ra'u V'Yadeinu Lo Shavachnu Es Adam Hazeh, because they're not trying to figure it out. So there should be an Elul of Hamelech Basadeh. There should have an Elul. There should be an Elul of Yitzia, figuring it out, and Mitzvah Hashem continuing weiter in Geula.
Amen.
Thank you. Wow.